Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be wrapping Christmas gifts, which I am so excited for, and I thought I would also answer some questions. I put up an Instagram story the other day for a little Q&A, so I thought I would answer some questions while we wrap up some gifts. So if you are anyone in my family and you happen to click on this video, I'm only going to be wrapping the gifts right now for my mom, my dad, and my sister. So if you are any of those three people, please click off. Thanks so much for watching, but I don't want you here. I don't know about your family, but my family tends to hoard Christmas wrapping supplies. These are just two of the Christmas papers I grabbed out of this giant bin over here with 50 rolls in it, probably. There's a lot of Christmas wrapping. I have little bins here of just different ribbons and stuff. My family has a lot of Christmas stuff. We always get it on the after Christmas sales, so we don't have to buy it around actual Christmas time. So these are the papers I chose that I'm going to wrap the stuff in today. So both of them are double-sided papers, and I like this red one the best. But on each of them there's the front that you're seeing here, and there's also a back side as well. And then same with this one here. This one is blue. It's the same style paper. And I have my ring light on, so it's really bright, but you can see that there's different patterns as well. The back side of these are more wintry than Christmassy. These ones are definitely my favorites. But we're gonna wrap stuff up. I got my tape, I got my scissors. We're definitely gonna dig into the red one first. So the first gift I think I'm gonna be wrapping today to get back to the swing of wrapping things is the gift I got from my mom. I'm not gonna say things out loud because my family is here, but it's a two-piece gift. So there's that, and then in here, so it came with this here as well. Okay, it's not the straightest, but it's fine. Okay, let's get into some questions then as I am wrapping this. So the first two questions kind of go hand in hand, but the first question is, what is my favorite social media platform to create content for? And honestly, that changes quite often, but I think I always come back to YouTube. YouTube is a huge default for me. It's really where I started. I mean, obviously I posted Instagram first, just as a platform in general. YouTube's really where I started growing my social media presence, and it's just where I started out years ago, when I made my first lifestyle YouTube channel back when I was in high school, years ago, and it's just always kind of been my little home here. So I think YouTube's still my favorite place to create content for, even if it's maybe not the most popular place to create content anymore. I know TikTok and Instagram are really, really big content platforms, and YouTube I also really like because it gives me a lot of freedom to create content, whereas I think a lot of other platforms you have a little bit less freedom. Videos, you can pretty much do whatever you want and you can edit them however you want, and TikTok, for example, you can still edit videos how you want, but a lot of editing, I mean, you can obviously do it out of app, but a lot of editing is done in app. There's time restrictions on the video, how long it can be, and certain things you can and can't do, and all that stuff, whereas I feel YouTube, there's a lot more freedom that way. And then Instagram, as we all know, has just been a mess and a half over the last couple of years, and trust me, I hate people that complain about the Instagram algorithm, but Instagram as a company itself, and Facebook as a company itself too, I think have kind of gone messy with a lot of their business decisions. Personally, there's just a lot going on there that is not my favorite, so YouTube, I think, for sure, would be my favorite content platform. Kind of in relation to that, there's been a question I got a couple times, and I hadn't even realized that I was doing it, or people consciously even realized I was doing it, I guess, and people were asking why I've been posting less on YouTube. And at first I got this question and I was like, what are you saying? No, I haven't. I've put out a ton of videos. I've gone to Disney World 3 times. All those vlogs are going up. What are you talking about? I have a lot of content on YouTube right now, which is true. However, I cut this paper slightly too big. It's true, I have gone to Disney World a lot. All those vlogs are up now. But looking back on it, I did take a break from YouTube in June and July, I believe it was. And that was mainly personal reasons. I had a lot going on at the moment, and there was just no mental energy there to do that. But even now that I have gone to Florida, there were weeks there where I didn't post a video just because I didn't have one done. And then on top of that, I did go down from posting, I don't remember what I was posting in January, like the spring, but January to the spring. It was either like every other day or 3 times a week or something like that. So I have gone down from that to twice a week. And there are a couple reasons for that. The main one is because I did decide to go back to school. And that takes up a lot of time, like plain and simple. That's, like, I'm in college, and I used to only post twice a week, I believe, while I was in school for the most part until the pandemic started. So to me that didn't seem very different, but I definitely see how other people thought maybe it was a little different than normal, which is fair. But then there were weeks I was skipping, and a lot of that was just I had too much going on, and I'm not trying to make excuses for myself because, like, I don't like not being able to put up videos. YouTube is a huge priority for me, and I don't want people to think that it isn't, because I honestly make as much of an effort as possible to put up videos. But at the same time, there was, well, I still feel like this, but there was a while there where I really felt like YouTube was a dying platform. I felt like no one was really watching YouTube anymore. There was such a heavy focus on TikTok as a video creation platform that no one really cared about YouTube anymore. And I still feel like the world is going that way. So for a while there, I was kind of like, okay, well, I'm just going to post more on TikTok and post less on YouTube. Maybe I'll just do vlogs on YouTube, and when, like, I'm in between trips, I just won't post anymore because, like, no one really cares about YouTube anymore and all this stuff. And then I don't really know what changed. Obviously I'm posting daily vlogs now. I think it was just more of a mental mindset of I don't really care, in the sense that's like, well, I don't really care where people are watching stuff because I'm creating content that I like to create and that I want to create. And I felt when I was on TikTok, there's so much pressure on TikTok to go viral and to get big, and that's almost like the purpose of TikTok in some ways, is like, if you're not going viral, you're doing TikTok wrong. And everyone wants to go viral, which is very different than they say on any other social media platform where it's like, do it for fun. TikTok people do it to go viral, let's be honest. And so I had focused my content on there, but it just was not making me happy. So we're back here for a while. Like, people still watch YouTube, maybe just not as many. I'm still gonna post like TikToks and that too. I like that platform as well. But YouTube is back to being my main priority again. And I'm not saying that won't change in the future. And when school starts up again, I mean, yeah, I'm probably going to have to cut down my videos again to probably twice a week. And that's, once again, just because of my workload. But I really don't know what the future holds. Right now I'm posting daily. That's all I can really promise, I guess, for the near future. So that's a long way of me saying I got bored with YouTube for a while, as well as I think YouTube is a dying platform, and not as many people are watching YouTube videos as they were even just a year ago. Like, people just are not watching them, and creators on YouTube, if you're not on TikTok and trying to get on TikTok, you're going to fail. Anyway, I'm posting on YouTube because I like it the most and it's fun, and I'm posting on TikTok still, and Instagram, and all the other platforms as well. Okay, we got my mom's done. I think I have 2 for everyone, so I'm gonna do like one in the front side of the wrapping and then one in the back, I think. This is like my favorite part. I feel like this is a lot of people's favorite parts. That didn't really work. Cute, and then I have to put labels on them. I don't have a pen. I don't want to get up to get a pen. Okay, I'm going to do my sister's next, and yes. Okay, so I got her a book that she wanted, a hair mask, and then these from Disney World when I was there. So I'm going to wrap them all up for her. We'll do this one for her. Oh, this is the pretty like red stripes on the other side. Okay, so next question. What is your favorite Christmas tradition? So my favorite Christmas tradition, unfortunately we don't actually do anymore. So I'll just kind of like walk you through what Christmas was like when I was a kid. So we would go on Christmas Eve, we would always wake up and we would track Santa. That was the thing. I still do that. I still enjoy doing that. The NORAD Santa tracker. I think that's so much fun. So we still do that. But I'd wake up, we'd like track Santa and see where he is, and be doing that throughout the day. And then after my parents got off of work, they often had to work on Christmas Eve, we would go over to my grandma's house. And sometimes my great aunt and uncle would come over too, and we would have like this big family Christmas Eve at my grandma's house. She always put out chocolate covered almonds, and she always put out the cheese on the table first before everything else. And the big joke was that everyone would always like steal cheese off the plate before dinner was ready. So yeah, that was always fun. And yeah, and then we'd have like our big family Christmas Eve meal. We'd come home and we'd go to bed. And then we'd wake up Christmas morning, we'd open gifts here at our house before going back over to my grandma's. And this time at my grandma's, it was just my family, the four of us, and my grandma. We would go and we would eat lunch there. We usually had some subs based off of like the stuff that was left over the night before. So we'd have like the turkey and cranberry sauce and that on a sub bun, eat that for lunch, and then we'd open more gifts at my grandma's house and spend most of the day over there. We'd come back like 4 o'clock-ish, pretty much just, we'd come back late afternoon just in time for dinner. And yeah, and then that would pretty much be Christmas Day, and we did that my entire life. That was my whole thing until 2018 when my grandma unfortunately passed away. So we don't really do that Christmas tradition anymore. And Christmas is probably the hardest time for that too. Not to make this depressing at all, but my family, we've been doing different things every year now since then to try and find something tradition-wise that we really like to do. But of course, Christmas 2018 and Christmas 2019 were the only real Christmases we could do that, because now the 2020 Christmas, it was weird because we were in the middle of the pandemic, and 2021 we're now still in the middle of the pandemic, so there's not a lot we can do. So we're constantly trying to do different things. This year I don't really think we're doing anything much at all, once again because of the pandemic. Like last year, we're just kind of going to stay home and have our Christmas Eve dinner here, have our Christmas Day dinner here, just the four of us in our family, because we have a very, very small family. Christmas just isn't quite the same in that sense anymore. But Christmas tradition-wise, going over to my grandma's on Christmas Eve was always probably the best Christmas tradition that we did, and my favorite thing, and getting to see everyone, and that was always just the best Christmas tradition for sure. Okay, the next question is, what is something you have learned this year? And this year has been something, let me tell you, for like learning experiences and that. I mean, it's just been a year, a time, you know? I don't even know where to start. So probably the biggest thing I have learned this year is, or I'm in the process of learning. We're like really working on it still, I'll be honest. Not that great at it yet. But probably one of the biggest things I learned is to stop caring what other people think and stop trying to do what other people expect me to do. So starting off with that wise, going back to school was a big step for me. That some people in my life who are not close to me but like to weigh in their opinions, as adults tend to want to do on 20-somethings lives, that they did not approve that I was A, still living at home, and B, I didn't even tell them I was going back to school because I knew that they would just not approve of it at all, and I would just never hear the end of it. So I have no idea how I'm wrapping this. We're just taking this as it goes. So learning not to care what people think of me in that sense is a big one. Along with also just like content I'm posting. I became very hyper aware of some hate that was going on in my direction this year, which was very, very damaging to my mental health, which was just not good. And I know there's a lot of other people that get hate too, and I've been really working to ignore it because nothing good comes from it. It's super toxic, and when you let people like that get in your head, all you do is become conscious of what you were doing. So you're constantly just like second guessing yourself, and everything I did on social media stopped becoming fun because I was constantly questioning what other people were thinking of what I was doing. Like I had filmed some videos at one point and was like, I don't like the way, or I'm showing my teeth too much because I have gaps in my teeth. I'm hyper aware of it. And people like to point that out on the internet. I know, thank you for letting me know. And it's just not, you know, like you start becoming like hyper aware of it. And there were videos I filmed but didn't even post because I was like, my teeth are showing too much. Like people are just going to bring it up and make fun of me for it. And it sucks, but that's the way I was feeling. And so I didn't post those videos. And now the content's deleted and I've regret not posting them because I was caring too much about what other people were thinking of me. That being said, it's hard to, like, you can't just wake up and be like, I don't care anymore, because that's just not how the world works. But I've been trying to care less, or if something I'm like, I don't know about this, I'll just post it anyway. So I think the most important thing, so back on topic, I think the most important thing I've learned is that you just gotta not care. Because no matter what you do, someone is going to have some sort of opinion on it. They always do. So you just kind of gotta work on yourself because other people's opinions don't matter as long as you're happy. You've all probably seen that viral TikTok video that went around of how that lady wrapped the candle. That's kind of what I'm trying to replicate right now. Okay, that's not bad. It's kind of cute. I'm not the best present wrapper, if you haven't been able to tell. And now we're going to do this. I do have this little sheet left over from before, so I think I'm just going to do it in here because it looks like it will fit. These here are also for my mom, but these are from Cody. So we always do animal gifts. I don't know if that's like a weird thing or not, but we always do animal gifts. So like Cody will get my mom and my dad and my sister something, and then Charlie will get like everyone something, and yeah, like we do little things like that. So these here are for my mom from Cody, and we're gonna wrap them. I think I'll do all the animal gifts I'm wrapping in this blue one here. I'll grab the snowman one first. So it's like snowman's on the front side here, and then just like a gray zigzag on the back. I don't know if I'll use the gray zigzag because I feel like that's a little not so Christmassy. I mean, snowman are more wintry, but it's still not as Christmassy. Okay, I found this little box here. So it's a little big, but I'm gonna use just some tissue paper. Make it a little nicer, I think. This one with the lines is actually super nice because it's easier to cut a straight line, I think. How do you feel about having a following? Have you ever been recognized in public? So I do have a following. It's very small. I've gotten recognized a couple times, mainly in Disney World, and then once back here at home. But what I will say about that is, and this is what I've always said, what you're doing with the Disney community is, or the Disney World community specifically, is you're taking all these people who are interested in this one topic and bringing them to a central location in Disney World. So the chance of you running into someone that you, still not stick tape shut, that you like follow or know in Disney World is very, very high, just because like that's where everyone congregates. I explain it to people like running into someone from high school in your hometown. It doesn't happen all the time, but it does definitely happen every once in a while. So that's kind of what it's like to run into people in Disney World. I run into people, my August trip I ran into like 3 people I think that knew who I was. It was a lot more common when I was on my college program that I would run into people, but overall, like, yes, I've run into people, but just for the sake of everyone's in a central location, so of course you're going to run into people. And that's also why I think too, these Disney influencers, it gets into their heads a lot, that they're like so famous when they live in the Orlando area, but in reality it's like you're only famous in your head, because as soon as you leave Orlando, no one is going to know who you are. It's super weird to be recognized and to have a following, because I'm like just a normal person, you know, like I'm a girl in college who did an internship with Disney and now goes on a lot of Disney trips, and I just also happen to film it along the way, you know, like there's nothing special about me. So it's always super weird when like someone comes up to me and they're like, oh my gosh, I love you so much, and I'm like, wow, okay, hi. It's super cool and fun, but yeah, and like in regards to that too, it's very strange to grasp the concept that I have a following, because I'll like say something online, because I'm a very opinionated person, I'm well aware. I'll say something online and not realize, not necessarily the backlash, but like that people know who I am when I'm saying it, if that makes sense. So I don't say anything that controversial, but yeah, I don't know. It's very strange. I feel like Disney influencers in general, but Disney influencers specifically have this double standard that people expect them to meet. So when they do something, people are like, get off your high horse, you're just an everyday regular person, whatever. But when they do something wrong, either like, you should know better because you're an influencer. Like, it's this complete double, you have to be this person, but only in certain circumstances. It's this very weird back and forth that I very much hate about the Disney community, because there is this, you're just a normal person going to Disney World, why does everyone think you're special? But also, you have to live up to these standards of being this perfect influencer person, when that's not the case. I only have, what do I have now, like 7,000 YouTube followers? That's nothing in terms of YouTube. In the Disney community, yeah, that's a couple, but in like the real life community, that's not that many. It's really not. Like, I am barely classified as a micro influencer in that case. So, I don't know, I find it, the whole concept of having a following is very strange to me, and like, I do this for fun. I do this because it's exciting and I love making this content and I love to watch people enjoy it as well, but it's very strange to meet people who know me, but I don't know who they are at all. It's really cool and like super strange at the same time. It's a very hard concept to explain. My battery's gonna die. I switched cameras because, as it turns out, I do not have another battery charged for my big camera. So, I also realized I did not have my microphone plugged in the whole time, so I'm so sorry if the audio on this video sucks. We're gonna keep going. So that is done. The gift next for my dad and my dad's stuff. So I'm gonna just use this box here, and I got him these. It's getting very messy on the floor here. I know you can't see it, but it's getting very messy down here. This one's like polka dotted, and it says from Santa on the outside. Just cute. I also got him these. I'm just gonna put them in this box here because this is what I'm gonna wrap them in and size this one first, I think. so I have enough paper. This one's actually easy to cut too because of the polka dots. They're all lined up. Okay, so the question is, would you ever do another DCP? I got a couple of these asking me if I would ever go back, or what program I would do, and all I will answer at this point is I cannot see myself doing another cultural exchange program. That's all I'm gonna say. At this point though, I mean, it also comes down to when Disney opens back up international programs, because as far as I'm concerned, I am starting to age out. Although you can do the program at any age and you could do it whenever you want to. Like, realistically, you can be 50, 60 and go do the international program if you want. Like, that's whatever you feel comfortable doing. But we're talking age out in the fact with, I can't sit here and wait for an internship for potentially 6 months or a year or 18 months, even 2 years of my life. I can't wait for a 2-year internship that I know is going to end and I'm going to have to come back and get a real job. Because there's no way for me to stay in Florida permanently unless I get a green card, and the only real way to do that is to marry someone, a U.S. citizen. So there's no real way for me to stay down there permanently and work for the company permanently. So it's I can't just sit here and wait around for the international programs to come back and waste my life away on an opportunity that is not going to be permanent when I have already worked for Disney in the past. It's just not something I can continue to do or feel right doing personally. If you are doing that, that's fine. Like, everyone has different life choices and life decisions and things they're doing with their life. That's like whatever. But I feel personally that I just can't sit and wait around for Disney forever. So when I graduate this travel and tourism program, if the international programs aren't back, I need to find a real job, and the Disney dream, unfortunately, is just going to have to be vacations, because I can't just sit around waiting forever for Disney to bring back the international programs. So basically, if it doesn't happen this summer, it's not going to happen for me pretty much. So, or if they don't bring them back by this summer, it's not going to happen for me. So I would like to, but really that's on Disney at this point as far as I'm concerned, because there's just a lot happening, and obviously, like, Disney doesn't want to bring international students in just to send them home again, because there is also the added thing of, yes, Disney World might still be open. I don't think Disney World's going to close down again due to the pandemic, but borders do close. A student's program could end, and they may not be allowed back home. I have heard some very reliable sources tell me that the programs should be coming back in the summer. From what I've been told, directly from a source that I cannot name, a very, very, very reliable source I cannot name, they're having a meeting to discuss bringing back the international programs in January. With this new variant, it doesn't look so good, and on top of that, they have not yet ruled out any of the international programs for the summer. I have no idea when my camera stopped recording. I just realized it did, and I had no idea. So I've been answering questions, and I hope you got to see some of them. All my camera batteries are dying today. We have just given up. I have officially finished wrapping, kind of. There's a mess on the floor, but everything is all good and wrapped. My camera died at some point. I didn't even see it happen, so I'm so sorry. So I'm not sure which questions you saw or which ones you didn't or whatever. But thank you so much for watching, and I hope you got to see some of the questions, and have a magical rest of your day.